Joe Pantalone wants to be mayor because he knows what Toronto can be. He knows it can get better and better and better. He wants to be mayor because he knows it's hard work to do that. It is not an easy thing to convince everybody in this great diverse city of ours with so many opinions to all pull together in one direction. It's not an easy thing to convince people that we have to continue to build the city, despite what the Toronto Star and the Toronto Sun say. It's not an easy thing to stay absolutely true to your love of this city after 200 days of people wearing you down and telling you you can't win. But unlike George Smitherman, he doesn't want to do it for himself. He wants to do it for all of us. And that's what keeps him going, and that's why Joe Pantalone is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger until Election Day, when Joe Pantalone becomes the Mayor of Toronto. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce my friend, Joe Pantalone.
Well, thank you, Gord. As you probably noticed, I stepped up into something. That's basically one of the issues that I've had over the last little while, is that people know my name, but they look at me and said, no, you're not Joe Pantalone. Joe Pantalone is taller, they said. It's on TV, I guess all of us look taller. And having the Joe-mobile, as Gord mentioned, is very helpful because people make the connection. And when people tell me, you should have been taller, I said, well, you know what, almost 30 years ago when I got elected, I was, I said. I used to be 6'2". But the weight of office somehow has brought me down to this situation. I hate to think what's going to happen 8 years from now after the second term. As mayor, I decide not to run again, right? But anyway, it's very nice to be here, and I want to thank Gord for those kind words. Because Gord and Janet Davis were the two city councillors, along with Sandra Basson, who had never had any equivocation about me being the best candidate for mayor from city council. And I want to say also thank you, a special thank you to Carmen Principato, who's over here, is from LIUNA 506, because LIUNA 506 was the first union that basically supported this campaign, and we all know the labor movement is 100% behind us now, and nice to see John Cartwright, the President of the Labour Council, as well. So thank you to both of you for that. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge John Lassinger and all the staff and the volunteers who have really done a tremendous job, bringing us to here for the 200 days. I haven't counted them, actually. That's what keeps me going. But, really organize this campaign. And looking around here, I see people from every part of Toronto, from the East York here. And if you notice, I'm wearing a pin from East York, because part of my job is to reconnect all the various parts of Toronto with City Hall. And the labor movement, the arts and culture movement, the youth represented across the various parts of Toronto and so forth. Because I'm running for mayor, frankly, because it's a job that needs to be done, mayor. It's not the easiest job in the world. Toronto is kind of the largest city, 2.6 million people. And Toronto is an amazing city, actually, because look around, whenever our street life, our culture, our environmental initiative, and so forth. And all the metrics tells us that it is a great city. National Geographic calls it the best city to live in the world. Fortune magazine, I don't have any fortune, but nevertheless, those who have a fortune eventually say that we're the best city to live and work in the world. The Foreign Journal magazine out of Washington says that we're the 4th best place in the world to experience culture after London, Paris, and New York. I think they're wrong. I think we're better than 4th. But anyway, and basically our neighborhoods are safe. We have the cafe life. We care about each other. Our United Way is the one that it raises more money than anywhere else in North America, because Torontonians want to make sure nobody's left behind. We really have an amazing city and amazing people. However, it's all under threat, if you will. It's all under threat because of a guy named Mike Harris in 1995 basically did terrible damage to our educational system, our transit system, and all our infrastructure, social and otherwise. And the city has been struggling with that since then. since amalgamation, which none of us really wanted, but nevertheless got enforced on us. And now what we have a bunch of mini Mike Harrises, if you will, which frankly want to finish the job. You know, and I think that that's absolutely unacceptable. It's not what Toronto aspires to be. And that's people like Spiderman, for example, want to sell part of the TTC. Figure that one out, you know. He wants to contract out just about everything, and he wants to diminish the city. You know, Rocco Rossi wants to sell Toronto Hydro. It's like selling your house so that you can rent it in the morning, because it doesn't make much sense. You know, and then there's Rob Ford, who thinks the best place you can do with City Hall is blow it up and so forth. You know, this is the idea of government. I and each one of you are here because we all know that we have to do better. We have a city that is inclusive. No one should be left behind. That's why we have to invest in our young people, especially in priority neighborhoods. We have to invest in our seniors. That's why, for example, I called for freezing their taxes for the next 4 years if they make less than $50,000. And we have to invest in transit, because frankly, you can't get here from there from a lot of parts of Toronto. So if you live in parts of Scarborough, you cannot go to the airport because it takes you too long. You have to change 6 buses and so forth. Doesn't bring a whole city. So I believe that Toronto is a fairly wealthy city. Actually, we are by international standards, but we have to make sure that we maintain that prosperity and quality of life in the future. And that's why I've decided to run for mayor, and I want to thank everybody who's been there for us. And by the way, the fact that the polls indicate we're in the top 3 is a good sign. You know, because it is, as you notice over here, there's 35 days to election day. If this had been a federal and provincial election, this is the start of that federal and provincial election. Okay, so therefore, we're sitting pretty, if you will, you know, to sort of win on October 25th. So, yeah, we don't have to hope so. We have to make it happen. So I just want to conclude, because it's hot in here and the cake is melting, and we want to be able to put it in our stomach. That's where it should be melting, not out there. So I simply say thank you to each one of you, not because you're campaigning for Joe Pantalone for mayor, even though I thank you for that, but because you're all campaigning for a Toronto that all of us want it to be, which is an amazing city. Thank you for that. Thank you.